Hey everyone, Anne here from Omocha Reviews, and finally I'm back with another review of two pop-up parades. The first is Faye Valentine and the second is Ed Ein. Both of them are from Cowboy Bebop. So previously, if you watched the channel, you've seen that we reviewed Spike Spiegel. This time we'll be doing Faye and Ed, and also Jet Black, who actually arrived right before these two. I took him out of the box too late, so may as well get them all done in one video. First, let's take a look at the packaging. It's virtually the same as Spike's with the seal of authenticity / copyright in the front, product information and hazards on the back. And the packaging, when you open it up, it's pretty much the usual. It's a figure sandwiched between two sheets of plastic. That's it, really. When you get any pop-up parade, it comes with a stand, and it's usually black and translucent, but depends on the character. And of course, you get the figures themselves wrapped in plastic. Usually the most common issue I see with pop-up parade are the bases. Usually there's a mismatch with the pegs and the hole in the base. In this case, Ed Ein passed the check pretty smoothly, and so does Faye Valentine. Though I'd like to note that pop-up parade pretty much downgraded the quality from Chica and Kaguya, where there was metal in the base. This, of course, isn't as big a disappointment as Jet Black, because, well, it would have been a great figure if it weren't for the fact that his foot came off when I tried to remove him from the base. That's because there was a mismatch with the hole and the base, and right now it's so tight I can't even pull it out. So basically the base of his boot and part of his foot are just stuck there forever. Easily the worst defect I've ever seen in any pop-up parade figure so far. And, you know, it really is a shame because otherwise Jet Black is a pretty good figure. The way that he was sculpted is pretty true to the anime, and I absolutely love all the details that they put in. They made him very muscular, so he looks different from your usual pop-up parade. They put a lot of detail into Jet's prosthetic arm. It looks cool. It really follows the musculature of the arm, like where they put all these little designs and details. I was expecting it to be a bit more metallic, but you know, this is a pretty cool take on that as well. The back of his outfit is pretty accurate to the anime as well. What I am kind of disturbed by is the fact that his butt is so detailed and so well sculpted. I think there's a fan of his on the team. So all in all, Jet, like, if he had come with 0 defects, I'd have been very pleased by this. The gun, the boots, the arm, it's just so well detailed and well made, except for that defect. Moving on to Faye Valentine, I think she's one of the more interesting pop-up parades that we've seen so far, simply because her pose is very subtly dynamic. She's leaning and looking back, and I think that's the first time I've seen a pop-up parade doing that so far. Her hair is moving in a way that shows movement. It's really just well thought out. Very interesting choice, I think, that they went with something very bright and colorful for Faye, considering that Cowboy Bebop has been, you know, noirish in its look. Taking a closer look, Faye, well, she looks like Faye, like close enough to Faye that she passes, but I'm not sure they quite got how angular her face was in the anime, the same way they didn't quite capture that with Spike as well. The hair color and length is perfectly right. I'm not sure about the style. I feel like it's a little more rounded than it looked in the anime, but it does look just about right. Again, very interesting decision that they went with something gold, but I feel like it accentuates like her sexiness, like Faye's very distinct sexiness from the show. They got the weird suspender thing that she's wearing in as well. I think it's a little clumsily painted on, I think, but you know, it's not a major part of her outfit. They really turned up the saturation for her stockings and her boots, but one cute detail is the indent where they begin. I think that's a little bit of realism that they added. Of course, this being Faye, there is a ton of peekage, particularly under her shorts, and over her shorts too, though they were a lot more major in the anime, so otherwise this actually feels pretty respectful. Like, it looks very true to what Faye looked like in the anime, and I really appreciate that as sexy Faye's design is, they really kept it classy with how they executed it. And you know, face aside, I think Faye's figure is pretty good and definitely worth getting, even as a standalone. Anyway, moving on to our final figure in the lineup, this is Ed Ein. many points of interest with this Ed Ein figure because, well, one, it's two characters in one. I think this is the first time that Papa Parade has ever done that, as well as the first time they've ever added an animal in any of their figures, so this is very cool. And when you take a closer look, wow, the serotonin rush that you get just looking at these two characters together is just... it's really great because Ed is done really well. They made her a bit cuter than I remember her being in the anime, but they get her hair and her goggles perfectly right. Her face is so cute, and so is Ein's. He looks pretty accurate to the anime. Though the sculpt for Ein is not the best, you see a lot of lines, and you can also see there is a bit of deformity here where Ed's hand is. I'm not sure what that could have been caused by. Otherwise, the paint job and the sculpt are pretty well done. I can't believe they managed to get Ed's hair right, but if there's anything you can trust Papa Parade to do, it's that. They also went with a more shiny finish for her shorts, which I think was a strange choice as well. They seem to have been going for strange textures with the Cowboy Bebop lineup. But otherwise, her outfit is very accurate to how she looked. A nice little detail that they added for Ein are his paw prints. They are the most adorable things I've ever seen. I can't get over them. And if you look up closer, you can see they gave him his red collar. There's nothing written on the tag, of course. I don't think you can expect any engraving. Such a genius move to put Ed and Ein together in one figure, and it's very fitting to what happens in the anime as well. And even if Ed wasn't quite my favorite character in Cowboy Bebop, this is actually my favorite in this entire lineup. It just makes me so happy. So with that, we've completed Papa Parade's entire lineup of Cowboy Bebop figures, and altogether, they look amazing. I was extremely disappointed when I collected the Jujutsu Kaisen ones, but Cowboy Bebop, they look like they were really made to complement each other. The height differences, the scales, the colors make a lot more sense now when you put all these figures together. And I think it's amazing that they really just managed to capture how this ragtag group of space cowboys really just complement each other. And you know, seeing them all together is enough for me to overlook Spike and Faye's rounder faces, or even Jet Black's like busted foot. So if you can, I wholeheartedly recommend getting the entire Cowboy Bebop crew. If you get them standalone, they're just fine, but they really shine when they're next to each other. Anyway, that's all for today's review, guys. If you found this even remotely helpful, please do leave us a like, and if you want to see more about Japanese toys and figures, don't forget to subscribe to EnjoyMusic Reviews. Anyway, this was Anne, and until next time, goodbye!